retiring as of October 1st.
At the station yesterday. Gas Buddy said
Here's your south southwesterly.
Well, good evening or good morning, I should say, to everyone that's out there. This is Kareem, and I'm tuning in today with my guy John B. I'm sitting in for Art Lewis today, once again on the Art Lewis Show. I was like, wow, there's a lot of things that are going on today this morning, a lot of stimulus that's happening in this intro. But I'm glad to be with you guys once again. And on today, we're going to have a really good conversation. I have with me sitting in the studio, not only the producer, John B., who is, I always call him John B. in the place to be. I think this kind of sounds like an 80s rap song. But anyways, we have with us also today to have a really just an informal conversation. And that is Christian Velasquez, Republican for the 35th Senate seat. And this is a new seat that we have that is out there. Because of all of the redistricting and things that are happening and taking place. Well, hey, Christian, how are you doing today? Do you mind if I call you Christian, first of all?
You can call me Christian. You can call me Chris. People struggle with Velasquez. They can call me Chris V if that's what they want. However
Velasquez.
They get it out
there. I love to say the last name.
See.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Mr. Velasquez. And look, I get permission to call you Chris, and then you go Mr. Velasquez all of a sudden. Well, Chris.
No, call me Chris. Call me Chris.
All right, Chris. Well, we are entering into political season, and you're running for this new district. And so I just really want to ask you some questions. One of the complaints that I often hear in our community as I'm talking with residents and doing what I do in the community is that we never know who people are that are running for office. And so I wanted to just kind of allot some time for you and other candidates as we continue to be able to just introduce themselves and say, hey, this is who I am. So who is Chris Velasquez?
Chris Velasquez is a farm kid who got an engineering degree, who got recruited by Dow Corning to come up here in the fall of '91. And I moved up here, and my wife, Janae, came with me, and we fell in love with the place. We originally said when we accepted their offer, we'll give it 3 years. And almost 31 years later, here we are. It's just a great place to be. We've worked and volunteered and participated in the communities, especially in this new district. It's one of the reasons I'm running, is this new district is everything that we've been about. And wanting to help this district succeed and grow is one of the reasons we're in the race. So I did spend a whole career at Dow. and retired from Dow. Was involved in some small businesses. Through that career at Dow, I got to participate in politics through government affairs, through the state chamber, through our political action committee, and I was asked to get involved in Midland politics. So I've been on the Midland GOP executive committee for 20 years. So I've been around politics. I've watched a lot of it. I've helped negotiate bills for organizations, for STEM education, for energy, and I said, hey, I can get in there and negotiate this stuff. I have the experience to do it. I love this place. I'm ready to lead.
I'm going to tell you right now, you've gained a fan when you started off saying that, hey, I'm just a farm boy. My producer, John, he's a farm guy. And as a matter of fact, he often does a show called The Farm Show. Am I correct?
Yeah, we've got the daily farm program on here, and I've helped Terry Henney out with that. I'm not a farm kid. I'm a pastor's kid.
Pastor's kid.
But I've grown up around farms. And
yeah, I listen to you. It's an old habit, right? When you grow up on a farm, your dad is always listening to the radio at 5 a.m., especially the farm news. And I grew up with it, so I still listen to you guys and Terry. It's an old habit.
Well, I'm glad to have you with us today. We're in a what I would consider a very divisive political season, and I know that you're getting ready to do primaries August 2nd coming up. So, what is it that you bring to this position? How are you unique from the other candidates that are out there? I think there are 3 other candidates that you're going up against in this primary. What makes you any different than these other candidates?
That leadership experience. So at Dow, I was able to lead global businesses, global teams, negotiate big bills, big deals, and led a small company. So through a small company where job growth is created, growing a small company, doubled in size, and sold it at the end of last year. And those experiences, the number one issue is the economy. The economy, creating jobs, creating growth.
It's the economy, stupid.
It is. It's all about the economy. I tell you, getting out right now, that is the only topic, economy and inflation. There are other issues that come up, but that is by far the largest one. So that leadership experience and that experience in business and the economy, I would also add to that now character and integrity. This is my first time into politics, and I'm running a clean campaign, a forward-looking campaign, a growth campaign. One, because I love this region and I think we can do better and we can take it to where we all want it to go. And watching the negative attacks come out is really sad to see what people do.
I'll tell you, it's different when I hear someone say they're running a clean campaign. We haven't really heard much about clean campaigns in a very long while. So it's that is refreshing. I just want to ask, when you look at this particular new seat that encompasses, Midland and some key areas, Saginaw and all these other areas, what are some of the key issues that you think are the things that when you get into this position, some of the key areas or key things that you need to address in this new position, should you be elected into this spot?
Well, I started from the get-go with a 3E platform, the first being the economy.
Okay.
And I actually, when I first put it out there in February and March, it was the economy and jobs. What's really interesting is we have a ton of jobs open. I talk to businesses all over the place, and almost everybody has.
You get a job. You get a job. We all get jobs, right? Everyone's got 2 or 3 jobs that we could probably have and still have jobs open.
So the second E on that platform is education, and I currently serve on the Michigan STEM Council. So
Okay.
I was appointed by Rick Snyder. I was reappointed by Governor Whitmer. It's a passion of mine, being an engineer, and I actually had the opportunity. I was given the opportunity to be on our Dow Corning Foundation, and I did that for over 9 years. I actually got to lead it for 3.5 years, and our focus was STEM. So my background in that focus got me a position on this council, and we have 27,000 open positions for STEM jobs, and that's
Here in Michigan.
Here in Michigan.
Wow.
And people think it's engineers and scientists, but it's mostly skilled trades. And these jobs I'm talking about that are open are skilled trades. So it's one thing we can do to really enhance this place is to focus more on skilled trades.
Okay, so you just said something I think is very interesting that sets you apart. You were appointed by Governor Snyder,
Mm-hmm.
Republican, and reappointed by Governor Whitmer.
Mm-hmm.
So, in terms of your ability to work across the aisle, which we don't see very much, in the next 20 seconds, just share me, what is your ability to do so?
Well, that's an interesting example, right? STEM is not a partisan issue.
Absolutely.
All right. Most issues we talk about are not partisan. Fixing the roads shouldn't be partisan. These things should not be partisan. They should be focused on accomplishing tasks. We need people who can focus on the goal at hand and negotiate win-win situations. That's all I've done my entire career. That's why that's one of the things I brought up that I think is a differentiator for me. I'm not going into this to be a hard partisan. I'm going into this to accomplish things that matter for the people of the 35th District and Michigan.
All right. We're going to take our first commercial break. We'll be right back with more of Christian Velasquez.
Additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-789-0374. That's 800-789-0374. What do you have to lose? Call 800-789-0374. Again, 800-789-0374.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Retail sales rose 1% in June from May, the strongest reading since March, though that does include people paying more for things because of inflation. The forecast was for an increase of 0.8%. Excluding auto sales, the increase was still 1%. There's another round of earnings from banks this morning. Citigroup's earnings and revenue were both better than expected and stronger than a year ago. Citi CEO Jane Fraser says our team delivered solid results and we're in a strong position to weather uncertain times given our liquidity, credit quality, and reserve levels. Wells Fargo's quarter was disappointing, partially because of weaker mortgage demand. Wells Fargo was also boosting its reserves, so it will be in a better position if there's a recession. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-328-9696. That's 800-328-9696. This is paid advertisement for legal services. Ricky LeBlanc, Chestnut Hill, Mass. Admitted in Massachusetts only. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. Members, Paul J. Morgan, Winter Park, Florida. Nick Neishunter, Florence, Kentucky. Rich Graybo, 970 Farmington Avenue, West Hartford, Connecticut. 860-904-7789. Michael Bo Gonzalez, admitted Louisiana. Filing number LA-22-13614. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other attorneys. I am a paid non-attorney spokesperson. Attention U.S. Marines. Veterans were exposed to toxic chemicals in the drinking water on Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987. Exposure to these chemicals increased the risk for cancer, birth defects, and other serious health problems. If you or a loved one were exposed to contaminated water on Camp Lejeune, you may be entitled to compensation. A new law gives legal rights to those harmed. It is not too late to take action. Call Sokolov Law now for a free legal consultation at 1-800-397-8100. 1-800-397-8100. 1-800-397-8100.
The ground ball and a base hit into left field. Jonathan Scope around third, and he will score. Tigers have been doing that beautifully here in the seventh inning. 4 runs and a 7-3 lead.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Good morning. This is Kareem Bowen once again, and I'm sitting in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show. I am sitting here today with Christian Velasquez, Republican for 35th Senate seat here in Michigan. Chris, I want to make sure that we get back to something. You were talking about your 3E approach, and I think the first one was the economy. It's the economy, stupid. The second one was education. And you began to talk a little bit in that space of education about all of the jobs that are available, that are out there, that are going unfilled in areas such as STEM and skilled trades. Let's pick up there again.
Yeah, those skilled trade jobs are critical, right? So welding, electricians, refrigeration, construction. Those are the open jobs, and they're all great paying jobs. They're great careers. You can go anywhere with that. You can do it forever and have a great life. You can learn from that and become an engineer. Really, that's kind of the background I had too. And you become a better engineer if you go through those jobs. But those are the jobs that are open, and they're great jobs. So making sure we train the workforce and we get the right encouragement and culture and training to help all those kids and even people changing careers get into the workforce.
This is completely not on the political side, but really more about getting to know you and just kind of your thought process. When you talk about training, and it's really a lot of retraining and getting people into those fields, because we've been in one sector of business for so long and times are changing. So when you talk about training, what are some ways that you think that we could bring these opportunities to people and really get them trained in an adequate fashion to take some of these jobs?
So on the My STEM Council, that Michigan STEM Council, one of the things we're talking about is cultural and awareness, just making sure parents and kids and youth know those jobs are out there and where they are. I was brought in by Rick Snyder and others and to represent business, because we also found that we were lacking some interaction and making sure the community and the schools, universities and schools were aware of the jobs we had open and what they were going to be for the next 5 years. So making those connections and that network and bringing everybody together was one of the key pieces that we needed to do to get the word out for STEM. And we're still working on that. It's actually gone tremendously well. We've been in place for about 5 years.
Okay, so it's the economy. We've got education. What's our last E for that three-pronged E approach?
Energy.
Okay. Let's talk energy.
So energy is, and it goes the whole gamut right now, right? So people are complaining about the cost of fuel. So energy goes from the gas in your car, and that ties right back to inflation and the economy. It's the economy. It comes back to the economy every time. But I like to talk about energy in the top level, because that's what drives growth and manufacturing. And manufacturing jobs, depending on who you talk to, have a 2 to 6 times spinoff. They bring in the other businesses, suppliers, and everything else that comes in. And we actually have a really strong manufacturing economy right here in this new district. We're actually a powerhouse with Midland Bay and Saginaw together now. We are a powerhouse in business and manufacturing. So energy is going to be critical to have competitive and reliable energy. And that's one of my backgrounds as well. I worked at a power plant, a gas-fired power plant, to put myself through school.
We have the regular Renaissance man in here. He's done it all. Okay, so when we talk about energy, and we kind of talked a little bit about energy, and not so much directly, but do we have the capabilities? And we've heard this discussed over and over again here in Michigan to really be sustainable as it relates to energy in whatever form that might look like.
We have the capabilities, and we need to head in that direction. A lot of people talk about sustainability as wind and solar. And again, I started my career up here at Hemlock Semiconductor. So I worked in each of the counties, and at Hemlock Semiconductor, right, we make silicon for the solar industry. So I'm also a proponent of solar and wind, and they have their places. It's not everything. They have their places. So I am an all energy guy. Natural gas has really allowed us to reduce our CO2 footprint. I'm a fan of nuclear, and new nuclear technology, the scalable new nuclear that's out there, is probably the most carbon neutral and sustainable energy we have. All these options are on the table, and they should be on the table to get us to this competitive
You
space.
do recognize that here in Michigan, when we hear the word nuclear, we freeze up. Oh my gosh, nuclear. What is it about nuclear energy that you think really scares people? And what can you say as a proponent of energy to really make a difference?
So I think people are scared of nuclear for the chemical and chemistry reaction that goes on, but it really has.
We think
Chernobyl.
We think Chernobyl.
Chernobyl,
yeah.
But our history in the U.S. is really good. If you look at France, France is almost completely reliant on nuclear, and that leaves them energy independent. It leaves them with a smaller CO2 footprint. It leaves them with reliable and competitive energy. It is manageable. I'm an engineer, so what we do is design things, and we learn from it, and we innovate new ways to manage it. And this new technology is fabulous. It's a great option.
What type of engineer are you?
I'm a mechanical engineer.
A mechanical engineer. Okay, so that says a lot. So as a community person, you came here, you fell in love with this area. Tell us a little bit about you. Who, if you were to define yourself, who is Christian Velasquez?
Well, I'm a very analytical person. That engineering background really plays into that analytical space. So when we're talking about legislation and how you're going to approach problems, it is very analytical. It is deep research, bringing information in, bringing experts in, and really evaluating that data. We have a lot of emotional issues and a lot of hot button issues, but can we bring those in and work from factual basis to drive things? And that also means you have to think about the consequences. I did get my MBA at Michigan State. I'm a Spartan.
Go green.
Go white.
I'll let you know that had no bearing. I'm just finding this out with you guys. I happen to be a lifelong Spartan. I love MSU. Go green. So that was cool.
Go white. So, and that MBA, I also, I was really strong in finance. I liked finance, and the analytical parts of that into driving business. I think that helped propel me at work as I switched into the MBA into leadership positions in business and elsewhere. That again comes back to that approach. How do you approach problems and approach the solutions out of those?
Okay, I'm a firm believer, and John and I were kind of having this conversation yesterday morning. I believe that we're in a time where we need strong leadership. When you hear the word leadership, what comes to mind? How would you define leadership? And then what is your leadership style?
So I'm very collaborative. I have strong opinions, but you have to draw that information in to be analytical. And you have to bring other experts in. You can lead with thought, and you can lead with bringing people in and bringing the network. On the STEM Council, I'll use an example. We went from a top-down partial STEM across the state to a collaborative network model. We went to 16 full-time folks who actually bring business, education, universities, community together to solve these STEM issues for each region, because each region is unique, right? We have a strong chemical and automotive here, but some parts are agricultural. You get into the UP and it's forestry. So every region in the state has differences, and you let those regions come together and solve the problems for the region, because most things are local. all politics is local. Getting those people together is important.
Well, I think that's really cool. I am a big STEM proponent, and you would not know this, but I work with both Hemlock Semiconductor and Dow on STEM-related programs, bringing awareness and access. What do you think, or how could you, in terms of your background, bring those opportunities, greater opportunities? Do you have the ability to bring great opportunities for STEM for our community schools, for training and education and job opportunities? You got about 45 seconds. Let me see what you got.
So that's what we are doing. We're bringing outside, right? There's a lot of nonprofits and others doing great things. First Robotics, the math in the mail that we talked about earlier in the region. There are a lot of outside entities that can bring STEM to our schools and our kids. Making those opportunities available and allowing people to collaborate is one way. Of course, how you fund, a lot of what legislators do is the budget. That's probably the number one thing they do. And where they place that money and how they spend that money matters on what it drives. I'll jump on that one because that comes back to the economy quickly, is that money we have right now, the increased budget, should all go to infrastructure. It should go to long-term infrastructure. And those are all engineering projects. But that would be an investment for our kids and children. I think that mitigates some of the inflationary impact as well. But that is one of the focuses I want to bring.
Well, Christian, it has certainly been a pleasure meeting you. I want to thank you. And hopefully you get out of this primary and you'll bring you back. All right. Thank you very much. We're going to take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Join the Great Lakes Loons July 28th for Office Professionals Night with Kate Flannery, Meredith Palmer from The Office.
I've had two men fight over me before. Usually it's over which one gets to hold the camcorder.
Meredith will be available for autographs and selfies during the game. It's a Thirsty Thursday.
2 packs of Splenda. Call it a Waterbury.
With half-off beer all night long.
Oh my God.
And we'll wrap up the night with a fireworks loon-tacular. Tickets are selling fast at loons.com. Meredith from The Office, July 28th.
Damn it, Meredith, where are your panties? Casual day.
Dive in. It's Loons baseball time.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
I'm Chris Velasquez. My favorite show was Dirty Jobs. It reminded me of growing up on the farm, working road construction, and night shifts at the potato chip factory. I've liked every job and learned from every experience. There are no non-essential jobs. The worst thing big government did the last 2 years was divide us by declaring who was essential and who was not. You have a right to provide for your family. As your state senator, my job is to protect that right and to bring even more opportunity to our communities.
Paid for by the committee to elect Christian Velasquez for state senate.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward and build that papier-mâché volcano.
I am not cleaning this up.
Ooh, yeah, I meant the kids. Staples will help them move forward. Right now, Crayola 24-count crayons and 4-ounce Elmer's glue are just 50 cents each, and 1-inch binders are only $1.99. Everything on your list at amazing prices. Staples, we're not going back. We're going forward to school. N716 in-store only, limit 30.
At the United States Postal Service, we deliver with advanced technology and equipment so we can reach over 160 million addresses across the country. We're delivering for thinkers, doers, movers, shakers, groundbreakers, future makers, innovators, trailblazers, disruptors, streamers, dreamers. So no matter what business you're in, we'll always be delivering for you. USPS, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/delivering.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show, it's the Friday Five inspired by that racist old lady, Dr. Jill Biden.
Nothing but tacos for all of us. Markley Van Camp and Robbins, weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
Good morning. You're back with more of the Art Lewis Show. I am Kareem Bowen, sitting in for Art Lewis on this great morning. It is a beautiful morning out there, and I was excited coming into the studio today. The sun was shining. It was a perfect Friday morning. Well, there is nothing more perfect on a Friday morning or a Saturday morning or a Friday afternoon than to talk about what is one of my favorite dishes. I am the mac and cheese connoisseur. I love it. It is a staple. We should have a mac and cheese hall of fame and a museum about mac and cheese. But I have something special for you guys that are out there listening today. I have with me they're actually on air. They're not in the studio, but they're calling in. And we have, I believe it's LaQuanda Hoskins. LaQuanda, are you there?
I am. Good morning.
Hey, are you running solo today, or did you bring your business partner in with you?
No, Letitia is on as well.
All right. So
good morning, Kareem. How are you?
I'm doing well. So we have with us LaQuanda Hoskins and Letitia Rando, two wonderful women that I have not had the opportunity to meet. But they are people that are of the same spirit. They are entrepreneurs. I love to hear that word. And they are the individuals who have brought, I don't know if everyone knows, a new restaurant to the community. I Heart Mac and Cheese. Welcome to the Art Lewis Show, ladies.
Thank you so much for having us, Kareem.
All right. So I just want to get into this. First of all, I Heart Mac and Cheese. Is this a franchise? Is this a business that you guys have created? How did we get our I Heart Mac and Cheese?
So it is a franchise. I Heart Mac and Cheese is a franchise. And Letitia and I were interested in starting a restaurant. And we came upon this franchise opportunity in Indiana. And we both went down there, experienced it, because it was definitely an experience, tasted the food. And we thought the concept was fun and cool and unique. And we wanted to bring it to Saginaw.
All right. So before we get into the depths of all of your secret recipes, and hopefully we get a secret recipe, I'm going to bring John B in one day. John, I'm going to treat you to some I Heart Mac and Cheese. How about that?
Awesome. I love mac and cheese.
All right. So tell me a little bit about yourselves as entrepreneurs, where you hail from, what's going on, and why Saginaw area.
Well, LaQuanda and I both have ties to the community. I'm born and raised in Saginaw. And so we're really excited to bring something new to the community, something exciting where we try to allow the customers to create their own happy. So yeah, that's our thing. Create your own happy. You can come in, you can customize your own macaroni and cheese bowl. You can customize your own grilled cheese sandwiches. We also have signature bowls and grilled cheese sandwiches that we offer. We have many different side dishes. We have awesome cookies. And if you've heard about our cookies, they are life-changing. We make them fresh every morning. So yeah, it's an awesome experience.
Well, Letitia, I'm going to tell you, you stole my heart. You stole my beating heart. The only other thing that I think I love more than mac and cheese are grilled cheese sandwiches. And my producer and I looked at each other and were like, grilled cheese and mac and cheese? So you allow individuals that have come in to create their own happy. And when you say that, I assume that you're referring to the fact that mac and cheese is considered one of those great comfort foods.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So how long have you guys been in operation?
We have been open since the week of April 11th. We had a soft opening on Monday and Tuesday, and April 13th was our grand opening.
Okay, so we can have mac and cheese every day of the week. When do you guys open and when do you close? Because I got to make sure that I hit you before in the morning, and then if I need to slide in the home base before you guys get in, get ready to close. I want to know what those hours are.
Absolutely, we are open Monday through Sunday, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 9, Sunday, 11 to 6 p.m.
Okay, so when a guest comes in, I want you to, as you said, you were in Indiana and you had the experience. What are guests to look forward to in terms of the experience of coming to iHeart Mac and Cheese?
We really pride ourselves on, like what Tisha said, creating your own happy. So when you walk in, you're going to hear some nice music. You're going to see a fresh vibe. We have a few televisions on the wall. And then you're going to be escorted down to the area where you place your order. So when you place your order, you're creating your own happy. So we have tons of fresh veggie options, proteins, various types of cheeses. So in addition to our signature bowls, as well as our signature sandwiches, you can also create your own bowl or build your own bowl or sandwich. And so customizing it to whatever your heart desires, essentially, with various, like I said, fresh veggies, cheeses, all of that.
Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. For those of you listening, we are talking with LaQuanda Hoskins and Letitia Randall of iHeart Mac and Cheese. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
For almost 20 years, Linex has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Linex have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because their rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Linex is located on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com. I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
It is the fundamental right of parents to direct the education of their children, unquote. That's the state law. And Representative Annette Glenn sponsored a bill to require posting that right in school offices and board meetings, fighting for parents. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Pete's property manager just took an extended vacation. He needs a replacement before this becomes a cruel summer.
Oh, you wanted the lakefront for the 17th? How did this get double booked already?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan Silver Dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan silver dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 1-800-222-3807 and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-222-3807. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-222-3807 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-222-3807.
Hi, this is Mike Avery, and here's what's coming up this week on Outdoor Magazine. First, Ali Shakur talks about tournament fishing and his role as a fisheries biologist. In hour number 2, we're talking food plots with Corey Michek. Also, Amy Trotter of MUCC weighs in on a couple of very important topics. And in our third hour, we're talking trolling with Mark Romanak of Fishing 411. Listen Saturday mornings at 6 and Sundays at 9 on WSGW.
This is Kareem Bowen sitting in for Art Lewis, and we are here on the Art Lewis Show speaking with LaQuanda Hoskins and Letitia Randall of I Heart Mac and Cheese. That's right, I Heart Mac and Cheese. I love mac. Who does not love mac and cheese? That it is. What were you going to say, John?
Even when you've got the picky kid at the family reunion who will only eat 3 foods, one of them is mac and cheese. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's the one thing that you can get any kid in America. If all else fails, they're not going to eat the greens. They're not eating veggies. They're not doing any of those other things, but they will eat the mac and cheese. So LaQuanda and Letitia, I want to just really kind of explore what you guys are doing, because I did speak with a young lady who is helping you guys keep everything together. I think she's a director of operations, Latoya Blanks. And, she said she helps with your businesses. What other businesses do we have out there that you guys are doing that maybe we would like to know about?
Well, LaQuanda. Go ahead. LaQuanda and I own a power line construction company based there in Saginaw, Michigan, headquartered in Saginaw, Michigan. And we've been in operation since November 2017 with that venture.
Wait a minute. You guys have thrown us for a complete loop. We went from making mac and cheese, and I see aprons and all of these things. Then all of a sudden you're telling me you guys are doing massive power lines. And all of a sudden I saw jackhammers, drills, and hard hats. So you guys... Let me see. I think I may have heard about you guys before. I spoke with the Pierces, and I believe maybe that you guys were doing some things with them before previously.
Well, all of our husbands are in the power line construction business, and so we've all known each other for years. And so yes, we are friends of theirs, and we are all in the same industry, trying to provide a service to the community.
Okay, I think that is absolutely phenomenal. What is the name of the power company?
PRH Storm Restoration, DBA PRH Group LLC.
Wow, this is really a very unique turn of events from mac and cheese to power. We hit it all. Okay, what is next? What's next? We're going to be building buildings. Okay, so this is really cool. So when you come in. When you decided to start a power line company, which came first, the power or the Mac?
We started with the power first, actually, Kareem.
Yes.
Okay, and so you guys are storm control. So I'm assuming that when we have storms like we had a few weeks back, and trees are down and power lines are snapped, that you guys would come in and you guys are probably assisting, I guess, the power company in this area, which would be Consumers and I guess DTE down in Detroit area. And you guys are providing services, helping to restore power. What all do you guys do in that capacity?
So as you mentioned, we are contractors for both Consumers as well as DTE. So when the need arises or something happens, on an unplanned basis or maybe even planned, we provide our resources to supplement their in-house resources to help them restore power, unplanned emergencies, whatever the case may be.
I'm going to tell you, this is absolutely phenomenal. This has been such a pleasure to be able to meet the two of you all. But I want to just really quickly, let's recap on this mac and cheese restaurant. Let's talk about the location. Let's talk about hours. Let's give the people what they want. Is there a website? How can we do this? Can we call in and order? Can we order online? Is there an app? Give us all of the details.
Well, our address is 4588 State Street. We are located right over in Green Acres Plaza. Again, we are open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., Sundays, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. We do have an iHeart app that can be downloaded. We also deliver through Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. We have some weekly specials that we have. Mondays, children 12 and under eat free with a paid entree. Taco Tuesdays. I don't know if you've heard of our Taco-Ronies.
Wait a minute. Slow down. You're going too fast right here because you're saying a whole bunch of stuff that sounds too good to just run across. Now, you said, have I heard about your taco what?
Taco-Roni.
Taco-Roni. What's a taco-roni?
Well, it's a taco with our macaroni and cheese with our signature sauce. You can and it's in a nacho cheese shell. Individuals can customize that as well. They can do a classic mac, which is our pasta and our signature cheese sauce, or you can add whatever vegetables, whatever proteins you want to that, and it's topped with a light dusting of a taco seasoning.
Wow, you're hurting us over here. Our listeners are probably upset because you guys are making my stomach. My stomach is hurting. I'm ready to go get me some mac and cheese. Now, the cool thing about it, so you're in Green Acres Plaza. I think you're right there off the corner, not far from Kroger, right?
Correct.
So I can run to Kroger and get me a rotisserie chicken, and then come over and get my mac and cheese made the way that I want over from you guys, and it is a night to remember.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, once again, if people are wanting to call in and order, give us that number once again.
So we have we take our orders through our iHeart app.
Okay.
And so they just go to their app store with whatever their cell phone provider is, and they would download our app and they can place an order. They'll find our location right there on State Street, select that and place your order. Then they can come and get it. If they want something delivered, again, they can go through Grubhub, DoorDash, or Uber Eats for that.
Wow, ladies, I certainly want to thank you for your time on today. You guys have really been, we've had a tantalizing conversation. I can't wait. I'm going to bring my producer in. We're going to taste and see how good the iHeart mac and cheese is. Thank you all, and we look forward to meeting you in the near future, okay?
All right. Thank you so much for having us, Kareem.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
I'm retired Army Colonel Martin Blank, and I'm a Republican running for the state Senate. I've met thousands of our neighbors during this campaign. I've listened to their stories. They're often heartbreaking. They work hard, but they're barely hanging on. They're a paycheck or two away from disaster. They're fearful for their kids' future, and nobody in Lansing is listening to them. I want you to know I'm listening. I hear you. Your story is my story. I've been knocked around by life. I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. As your state senator, I may not always get it right, but I'll always try to do the right thing by you. Nobody owns me, no special interests, no PAC, no party. I'm nobody's man but yours. For 23 years, I fought for you, including tours in Afghanistan and Iraq, and I'll fight for you once again as your state senator. This is Martin Blank, Republican candidate for state senate. I ask for your vote on August 2nd.
Paid for by Martin Blank for state senate.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Wills and trusts, wealth management, asset protection.
Does this sound important to you?
succession planning for the family business, elder law, probate.
For most of us, we have better things to do with our lives. But when the time comes, personal or for a business, all of us will be glad we took just a few minutes to get our lives in order.
Reduce or eliminate estate, income, and gift taxes. Avoid probate costs and prevent will contests. Plan for the event of disability.
Who should you see? Who can you trust? Who has decades of experience in providing peace of mind for families and business owners?
My name is Jerry Reif. See me today and get your life in order.
Get some peace of mind. Check out Jerry Reif for yourself. Go to jerryreiflawyer.com. While you are there, subscribe to his free monthly e-newsletter and learn about elder law and estate planning. You can download helpful resources. Remember the website, jerryreiflawyer.com, or call Jerry Reif at 989-790-1461.
I provide legal solutions for a changing world.
This is Kareem Bowen sitting in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show today. Well, we've had a great first hour here today. We were able to sit in and talk with Christian Velasquez, Republican for 35th, this news district that is created in the Senate. We also had a good conversation, a tantalizing conversation with the ladies LaQuanda Hoskins and Letitia Randall over at I Heart Mac and Cheese. And so we got a great hour coming up ahead of us, and we're going to sit in and have a conversation with Kristen McDonald Rivette, Democrat for 35th as well. So you guys tune in. We're going to be right back after this next commercial break.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Steve Dorsey in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. President Biden will land here after making an historic flight, the first for a U.S. president between Israel and Saudi Arabia, as the Islamic Kingdom opens its airspace to all civilian airlines. It follows a visit to the West Bank this morning where President Biden reaffirmed the U.S. commitment to separate states for Palestine and Israel.
2 states for 2 people.
President Biden is due to meet with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman today. He's the powerful de facto ruler of the country that U.S. intelligence agencies say ordered the killing of Washington Post writer Jamal Khashoggi. As a candidate, Mr. Biden had pledged to make Saudi Arabia a pariah. I'm Steve Dorsey in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Now with more CBS News, here's correspondent Deborah Rodriguez in New York.
An autopsy by the Akron, Ohio medical examiner shows Jalen Walker was shot or grazed 46 times by police last month. Walker, a 25-year-old black man, was trying to run away during a chase. Hundreds of people turned out for his funeral this week. The mayor confirms Akron officers have stopped wearing name tags because of threats they're receiving. In Georgia's second largest school district,
Mr. Scamahorn.
Despite chance of delay the vote, officials in Cobb County approved a policy that allows some employees who are not certified police officers to carry guns in schools. This parent is opposed.
How are our children, who are already traumatized by the news of other elementary schools, supposed to know that someone on school who they see as armed is safe if they are not a school resource officer?
Teachers there cannot be armed. The Secret Service categorically denies a watchdog's claims it intentionally deleted text messages from January 5th and 6th of 2020, the day of the Capitol attack. Correspondent Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill.
The Secret Service says before an investigation was launched, it reset its phones as part of a system migration that resulted in some data being lost. An agency official adds it has turned over more than 786,000 emails and 7,000 text chats related to January 6th.
U.S. shoppers spending more last month. Retail sales were up 1% as inflation reached new record highs. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
The retail sales data, along with the June jobs and inflation reports, make it all but certain that the Federal Reserve will raise interest rates by 0.75 percentage point when it meets on July 26th and 7th.
The Dow is up 345 points right now. The S&P is ahead 33. This is CBS News.
Find great hires fast with Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
I'm Chris Velasquez. My favorite show was Dirty Jobs. It reminded me of growing up on the farm, working road construction, and night shifts at the potato chip factory. I've liked every job and learned from every experience. There are no non-essential jobs. The worst thing big government did the last 2 years was divide us by declaring who was essential and who was not. You have a right to provide for your family. As your state senator, my job is to protect that right and to bring even more opportunity to our communities.
Paid for by the committee to elect Christian Velasquez for state senate.
Flock to Dow Diamond July 30th for Princess and Pirate Night, where you too can be royalty.
A princess? Shut up!
Or a scallywag.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
After the game, we'll light up the kingdom with a fireworks loontacular.
Hey, we saw fireworks!
Princess, are you okay? Powered by Farm Bureau Insurance. Tickets are selling fast. My God, you ate the princess! Get yours now at loons.com. Princess and Pirate Night, July 30th at Dow Diamond.
Bye-bye, boys!
Have fun storming the castle.
Dive in! It's Loons baseball time!
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative, and their clients that qualify are saving thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letter, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation. Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Partly cloudy skies and 70 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. A Bad X man is $140,000 richer after matching all 5 numbers in Michigan's Fantasy 5 lottery game. 71-year-old Lawrence Talaski purchased his ticket from Rick's and Nick's Party Store at 20 Thompson Road in Bad X. Talaski says he buys his tickets a few times a week and always from the same store. He was shocked when he scanned the ticket with his Michigan Lottery app, which informed him he was the winner. The winning numbers were 9, 18, 20, 22, and 34. Talaski says he plans on using his winnings to pay bills, complete some home improvements, and donate to a few organizations. The Saginaw Township Community School is looking for a little financial help to keep its pool operation. Sherwood Elementary at 3870 Shattuck Road had to close its pool in February due to infrastructure and dehumidification issues. For more than 30 years, the pool has provided aquatics exercise programming. Nearly 250 adults participated in daytime classes and another 60 in the evening H2O boot camp. While the pool itself remains in good condition, the cost to address these issues is nearly $2 million. The school district is able to provide between $400,000 to $500,000 from its sinking fund, but that would still leave $1.5 million to raise. The school has reached out to various community organizations, the swimmers, and the community, but can still use help. Anyone interested in making a donation to help raise funds for the pool can contact Steve Elliott at saelliott@stcs.org for more information. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
One of my best days as a hospice worker, and I've been doing this for over 20 years. The example that I think of is the gentleman who came up to us while we were standing at the casket of his wife, and he looked over at her, and then he looked at us, and he said, "I cannot thank you enough for making me a hero in the eyes of my wife." And that's because he was able to be taught by our hospice team how to take care of his wife and minister to her in her final days. So that was a good day.
For more information on hospice, visit wellspringlutheran.com.
Why do I fly out of MBS Airport? Because the stress-free experience on the ground makes for a more enjoyable experience up here.
Eagle Test, this is Bravo. I'm going to do some barrel rolls and other cool stuff.
Whoa, oh, what a dream. Even a business trip's exciting. And with services through Delta and United Airlines, you'll feel upgraded as soon as you walk through their doors. Book your flight today at mbsairport.org.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. A lawsuit has been filed in Michigan to try to disqualify a Republican candidate from the governor's race. The lawsuit says Ryan Kelly should be declared an insurrectionist whose votes won't count because of his role in the U.S. Capitol riot in 2021. Kelly is charged with misdemeanors. The U.S. Constitution says anyone who has engaged in an insurrection or rebellion against the U.S. and has taken an oath to support the Constitution cannot hold office. Kelly took an oath in 2019 when he was planning commissioner in a Michigan community. Kelly is one of 5 candidates in the August 2nd Republican primary. The winner will face Governor Gretchen Whitmer in November. Republicans say Democrats are simply trying to meddle in the GOP primary. As the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot prepares for its last scheduled hearing 1 week from today, a former federal prosecutor from Michigan says a strong case could be made to charge former President Donald Trump with involuntary manslaughter. Here's MNN's John Hewitt.
There's been a lot of focus on what did Trump know, what did he intend, and this is a crime that could be established even without that proof.
She's not saying it will happen, but Barb McQuaid, former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Michigan and current University of Michigan law professor, says among the possible charges the Justice Department could levy against former President Donald Trump is involuntary manslaughter.
Donald Trump was aware of what was happening, that people were coming to him and saying, hey, look, people are dying here. This is really dangerous. You need to put a stop to this, and yet continued to allow those 187 minutes to pass. At some point, I wonder if we don't see that it was gross negligence to fail to act.
McQuaid says testimony in the next House hearing will be key. That hearing is scheduled to air July 21st in prime time.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's the latest Chicago weather update. We'll see increasing cloud cover here for today with a high into the mid-80s. Winds out of the southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tonight, a chance for some rain showers here. Cloudy skies, a low near 63. Saturday, partial sunshine develops, high of 84 degrees. Then on Sunday, a slight chance for rain showers here late. Mostly cloudy and a high of 83. Monday, mostly sunny skies, high around 88. Then by Tuesday, plenty of blue skies and sun, a high around 92. Wednesday, a chance for rain showers, high around 87 degrees. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Currently, it's 68.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning, everyone out there. This is Kareem Bowen filling in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show. I love the way that you had to stop the music stop on that. That was perfect. So we want to thank you guys. We have had a great morning so far, and the fun just continues, John. We have in the studio with us Democrat for 35th, the Senate District, the new one that is out there, Kristen McDonald Rivet. I think I got your name correct. All right, rivet as in pivot. All right, I got it down. I'm all ready to go. So it's good to have you this morning, Kristen McDonald Rivet. So you are kind of, I guess, you're kind of waiting things out to see what happens on the other side of the table with the Republican primary.
I'm actually not waiting. So.
Okay. So what are we doing at this time? She's like, I'm actually not waiting. We're moving forward.
So we announced this run in February, and there's little something going over on the Republican side. They're doing their thing, but I have been on the doors talking to voters and out in the community. Moving through the churches, having conversations with neighbors, doing everything we can to talk about the candidacy, talk about why we're doing this, what matters to people.
Okay, why from a commissioner to the Senate? Why would you make the transition? People. What I've recognized about people who are in politics, once you get in this, there is a lot of weight, responsibility that you have to handle as a politician. Why make the transition?
Yeah, it's interesting because I always talk about the two reactions when I said I was going to do this. So there are the folks that meeting me for the first time, they say, "Okay, why are you running for office?" And then there are my friends and family who will say, "Why are you doing this?" Right? It's a difference in tone. But I'm a Bay City commissioner. I'm in my first term. This is I've spent my entire life working around public policy and mostly just thinking about how to make things better for families, particularly kids. I've worked a lot in early childhood education, really care a lot about childcare, making it accessible and affordable. It's out of reach for most families, and doing a lot of things around our schools. I ran for the Bay City Commission because there were many of my neighbors, friends, and folks in the community asked me to step up, and I thought I could contribute. Never thought I would run for a partisan office. This is for folks that are watching this race. It's a really closely watched this campaign, this particular race, because they believe that the control of the state Senate, partisan control of the state Senate, goes through this district, has been named one of the top 25 legislative races in the country.
Really?
I'm not sure I fully understood that when I said, "Hey, I want to do this," but I see.
Put me under a microscope. Right. I can handle it.
That's right. Can we have everybody watch my every move? I really try to put myself in a position where I can make a powerful contribution in order to better the community, strengthen our families, really help our kids. And this seat is important in a lot of ways, but there's also, I believe, a really important role for level-headed, pragmatic, rational leadership that cares deeply about how our community is doing, as opposed to political divisiveness.
I want to stop you really quick because we're going to talk about political divisiveness as well. But I want to stop you because I want to ask you this particular seat. And I've heard a lot of people talk about the seat, and those of us who are just regular voters out there, we're just kind of like, what is so special about this seat? What makes this particular seat unique from the other seats?
So the whole climate completely, the whole context changed completely after the Voters Not Politicians piece was passed, and our districts were redrawn. So we had terrible gerrymandering in Michigan, and it made most of the Senate seats in particular not competitive. So whoever came out of the primary was the person who won, and there wasn't a lot of real competition in the seats. When the new districts were drawn, it suddenly allowed for both parties to have reasonable chance at having control of the state Senate. So the Democrats have not had control of the state Senate in over 40 years. But now that there are new districts, there's a chance the Democrats can take control of that. So there are a lot of people that are watching that. Additionally, across the country, there are very few legislative chambers that have the potential to flip partisan control.
Okay. So
that's one of the reasons why they're looking at this. I also think that there is a growing call across the state for a real debate about real issues, as opposed to what we see, frankly, from both parties going to the far edges, pointing fingers and screaming at one another.
I'm glad you said that. As I look at where we are in terms of politics, I never hear from anybody in the center anywhere.
Right.
We hear from the ultra progressives. We hear from the alt-right, all the way the ultra-right, and we don't hear common sense and sensibility coming from anywhere that mirrors a middle. Is there a middle still in politics?
Well, that's where I sit, and I completely agree with you, and that is why I am running. That is the thing that pulled me into this race. I am not a decades-long politician that's running for thing after thing after thing. This is the first time I've run for a partisan seat. I didn't make the decision lightly, but I couldn't see any leadership emerging anywhere that was talking about the things in the middle that I'm hearing from families, that I'm hearing from my neighbors, that I'm experiencing. My husband and I I always joke we have 1 million kids. We've got 6 together. We have 6 children. We've got
it's the Brady Bunch here.
We are the Brady Bunch. We have one of those really fun giant family dinner tables. But the things that I'm worrying about and the things that my kids are thinking about, and as they're now 5 of them are adults, they're starting their lives, they're beginning their families, they're doing those sorts of things. The issues about the strengthening of our schools and worrying. I have a daughter who's a special education teacher. What she's encountering in the classroom, the flat out trauma a lot of our kids are experiencing, the pain of going to get groceries right now. That is not what I was hearing in the political dialogue. And in fact, I think we are seeing a lot of political leaders, and frankly, we're seeing some of that even playing out in this race in the Republican primary. Extreme accusations, a lot of messages that are intended in dividing us in the community. So when we're in a space where we have school board members who are getting death threats in the middle of the night, when we have it becomes commonplace for threats of violence against folks that are taking policy stands, we have got to change something. We have to leave something better for our kids. And what I started to understand is that doesn't change until good people who sit in the center politically stand up and agree to run for office, even though it's not the most fun thing at times.
Wow. Okay. So we have been having a conversation over the days and about leadership and what it means to have leadership. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about what does leadership mean to you? I think that's a very important question as we look to unify our nation and no longer divide us into political fragments. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
I'm attorney Jerry Reif, and I have practiced law in mid-Michigan for over 3 decades. Many of you have attended my monthly workshops where you have learned about estate planning, asset protection planning, avoiding nursing home costs, and how to save the family farm. Would you like to understand more about these topics? I am offering 3 free e-booklets about estate planning, farm succession planning, and Medicaid planning.
To get your free e-booklet, go to jerryreiflawyer.com to download any or all of the e-booklets or call 989-790-1461 to request a copy.
My e-booklet, Understanding Medicaid, describes Medicaid, Medicare, and the difference between them. If estate planning is confusing to you, then get my e-booklet, Estate Planning Basics, and you'll find that it is a helpful guide for your future planning. If you have a farming operation and want to save it for future generations, then get my e-booklet, Estate Planning for Farmers.
If you want any of these free e-booklets, go to jerryreiflawyer.com or call 989-790-1461 to request your free copy.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Retail sales rose 1% in June from May, the strongest reading since March, though that does include people paying more for things because of inflation. The forecast was for an increase of 0.8%. Excluding auto sales, the increase was still 1%. There's another round of earnings from banks this morning. Citigroup's earnings and revenue were both better than expected and stronger than a year ago. Citi CEO Jane Fraser says our team delivered solid results and we're in a strong position to weather uncertain times given our liquidity, credit quality, and reserve levels. Wells Fargo's quarter was disappointing, partially because of weaker mortgage demand. Wells Fargo was also boosting its reserves, so it will be in a better position if there's a recession. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-328-9696. That's 800-328-9696.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Swinging a ground ball and a base hit into left field. Jonathan Scope around third, and he will score. Tigers have been doing that beautifully here in the 7th inning. 4 runs and a 7-3 lead.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Good morning, those of you out there. This is Kareem Bowen filling in for Art Lewis and the Art Lewis Show. I am sitting here today in studio with Democrat for 35th Senate seat, Kristen McDonald, Rivet. And I got to make sure I get that rivet, pivot. In my mind, I'm hearing rivet, pivot, rivet to make sure that I get it correct, because I want to call it Rivet, but it's not Rivet, it's Rivet. So, Kristen, before break, we began a conversation. We were going down, and you mentioned the need for leadership. I really believe that we're in a crisis of sorts. And what I mean by that is that we are in a time when there is so much polarization going on, and we need leaders from the left side, the right side, in the middle, somebody to help us to get this democracy back on course. What does leadership mean to you? And I asked before, and I'll ask the same question for you. Like, what does it mean to you? And then also, what is your leadership style?
So I have always believed that leadership begins first with service. And in that space, that means that you listen first, you hold your word. So integrity means everything. That when you say something, people have to know that what you're saying to them is what you say to other people, and that you understand the power in your words, particularly in an office like this. But throughout the course of the campaign, we're doing these sessions. We're calling them Front Porch Talks. And we were talking about this a little bit over the break, but we're asking across the entire district. And let me be clear, even in the areas that are strongly Republican and not likely to overwhelmingly vote for me, we're asking people to open up their front porches, maybe serve some lemonade or water, and invite 20 of their friends and neighbors. And I spend about an hour and a half. We sit and we talk. We talk through the issues. Sometimes folks don't agree with where I stand on the issues, but it's important to be really authentic and open. We started in politics, we tend to create these spaces that require candidates to take hard stands on things that doesn't allow for learning, that doesn't allow for listening. And for me, that's not leadership. I think you have to, there are certain things that we know, that I know where I stand, right? I know where I stand on working families and protecting our pensions and strengthening our schools. I have solid policy positions there. But the nuances and what that means to families requires you to show up, listen, and then understand that heading into a position like this, my job is to represent those families in Lansing and carry their voice forward. But it begins with service.
I got to ask this question, and this comes from what you just said, because I was just thinking, politicians represent their constituency.
Right.
So could you imagine a situation, or does it even occur, if you feel a particular way about a particular thing, but your constituents are saying, no, that's not where we are, we're over here? How do you handle those kinds of things?
Yeah.
as a politician? And I know I'm asking someone who's never run for a political office before.
Well, but I've been serving in the community
so
my entire life, and so it's something that I do have experience with. The first thing that I think is important in these spaces is that you sit down, convene tables, bring people together, and listen to what they have to say. But at the end of the day, a representative represents the people, and there are and it's important to have an open enough mind to know that where I may stand on something is not fully informed by the lived experience of the other folks in the district. But I want to give you an example of what how I see this. We have everybody's talking about inflation. Everybody's talking about how hard things
you can't not
right?
talk
The,
about
the price of eggs, the price of milk, all of those things. And so we're hearing a lot of campaign commercials. It's awful. It's awful. People can't make ends meet. Families are suffering. That is true. But where's the solution space? So we have too many political candidates who want to sort of bang on that and then not offer any alternatives because it's easier to point fingers and problems than it is to say, and here's what I think we can do about that. So,
So are you getting ready to give us a 5 point?
I'm just going to give you. Let me just say this, and I want to offer this as an example and a couple of solutions. So, the price at the gas tank is staggering, right? When you go to fill your gas tank,
It is coming down, though. I did notice that
it is coming down, and it is
slowly-
getting better. And much of that, I'm just going to say, we know much of that is due to forces that we have very little control. But something we do have control of is the potential for a pause in the gas tax, which has been sitting in the legislature, not moving, because they don't want to give the governor a win before she's up for election, right? That isn't serving people. When you're starting to withhold things that you know are going to ease some of the pain our families are experiencing. So politically, you have an advantage 4 months down the road. That is not leadership. That is not service. We have I've been working for the last year, part of Coalition for People on the Earned Income Tax Credit, which is, policy wonk speak for basically a working family tax cut. There's a proposal, Republican Senator Wayne Schmidt from Traverse City introduced this bill that would amount to the largest tax cut for working families in Michigan's history. Fully supportive. There are Democrats and Republicans behind it. The governor is supportive of it, not moving because they don't want to give people wins before the election. Cut in the earned income tax credit and a pause in the gas tax. These are things that provide immediate help to families that when I'm on the doors in Bay City, when I'm on the east side of Saginaw, when I'm in Freeland, when I am in Auburn, when I'm in Midland, overwhelmingly, these are things that will help families, and they're just sitting there. That's not leadership.
And I'll say this: when I hear these types of things, I think it's important to take in mind because we see this happen every cycle. And I've seen people who are Democrats do the same thing.
Sure.
So sensibility. So I want to ask this question: when you talk about entering into a space that has become highly divided, what do you bring to this new Michigan Senate? Should you be elected? That will help us to kind of bring the state together.
So I will operate in the middle and work with anybody who has a good idea and wants to move them forward. So you can look at the last 30 years of moving legislation through Lansing, where you see, and frankly, I'm not even going to get into the dysfunction of Congress, but that there are things that we know our families need, that we know our communities need, that are not moving because it is politically more expedient to stand on the sidelines and blame someone else. It's become politically more expedient, particularly in the last 5 years, to divide us neighbor to neighbor, right? And I don't do that, and I won't do that. And I have a history of in the Bay City Commission and in other things that I have led and done of working with both sides of the aisle with people who have the same interest in order to move policy forward. The earned income tax credit is a really good example of that.
I'm getting ready to take a 320-degree pivot because I wanted to bring. I always have this conversation when we have a room full of men, and we have a woman here today. We understand that Roe v. Wade is no longer a thing, okay, in terms of what the Supreme Court has done. So that means that the states are now going to be responsible for anything as it relates to or assimilates to abortion rights for women. What do you think are necessary for some of the things to take place, or some of the things we need to do as politicians? We only got a couple minutes here, but I just want to get some insight from you.
So this is an issue that matters deeply to me. I have 4 adult daughters. It's important that we have our rights protected. I am really discouraged by the amount of messaging, so immediately when I came out and said, listen, I am pro-choice, I support reproductive rights, there were within 48 hours mail pieces in all across the district saying, did you know that Kristen McDonald-Rivet supports partial birth abortion? She supports on-demand abortion. I mean, just absurdity, right? The reality is in Michigan, voters don't want extreme. And we've been having this conversation in a vacuum, and now it's real. But the law on the books in Michigan makes it illegal and a 5-year felony, a 4-year felony for a physician to perform an abortion from the moment of conception, which creates the scenarios like we're hearing about the 10-year-old rape victim that is being forced to carry a baby to term unless you cross the state lines. These sorts of things are real. And what I have heard when I'm talking with folks is that in Michigan, we don't want that level of extreme. Regardless of where you sit on the continuum, people don't want to see a 10-year-old rape victim having to carry a baby to term. So it's critically important that we are protecting what the sanctity of privacy between a woman and her doctor, and being able to leave those decisions where they belong. This isn't a place for government. It's just not. But listen, I'm the mom of 6 kids. I'm the mom of 6 kids. I don't support abortion in the 3rd trimester. People don't. That's not what this debate is about. This debate is about whether or not we trust women to make the right decisions, and whether or not there is a respected privacy in the doctor's office.
Well, I certainly thank you for being here today. I look forward to whomever makes it on the other side of this coming back. We're going to take a commercial break, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo and Maria in Miami. Jules in Minneapolis and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Chances are you're jamming in your car right now. And since Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance so you only pay for what you need, Limu and I are going to show you some safe car dance moves. Hit it. Everybody, check your blind spots real quick. Now hands on the wheel. Put them 10 and 2 and move your head like a bird do. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Did you book the Townsend's 10th anniversary ticket?
Alona's travel agency is overbooked and experiencing delays. She needs to land a new project manager to clear her business's runways.
Yes, Ms. O'Hara, we checked. Pygmy goats do not count as emotional support animals.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW online poll: bipartisan bills in the Michigan legislature to allow alcohol sales at college football, basketball, hockey games. Right now, 8 of the 14 Big Ten schools do allow such sales. Both Michigan and Michigan State do not, though MSU does sell in its suites. Lawmakers say it's going to offer a more enjoyable game experience.
So I think it will make Michigan universities have a little more of a competitive edge.
And they say that studies show the number of alcohol-related incidents inside stadiums declines when sales are allowed. Alcohol would be sold 2 hours before and 2 hours after games. Some opponents do say that there's already enough alcohol at game sites already without it being sold. Poll question for you: should alcohol sales be allowed at college sporting events in Michigan? It's a yes. It's a no. We'll give you the I'm not sure option too. Head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the online poll box, and make your votes that way, please.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW. This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
Well, we're back. This is Kareem Bowen, and once again, for those of you who are just tuning in, I am sitting in for Art Lewis, and this is the Art Lewis Show. No, you did not catch the wrong dial. You're on the right station. No, and I am not Art Lewis. We, even though I have a nice tan, and I'm sure Art is somewhere, probably, hopefully, getting some sun. We're glad to have you guys. We're going to open up the phone lines and allow you guys to give your opinion. One of the things that I really enjoy about what Art does here is that he is one of those shows that allows people to give their thoughts and opinion. And I think that your opinion matters. So we're going to give you the number. The number is 989-752-6111. So if you're interested in sharing your opinion, we certainly want to hear what you have to say. I want to ask a question, and if you guys are calling in, I see the phones are ringing already. They were waiting for this opportunity. But if you're calling in, I want to ask a specific question. Of course, we're going to take whatever comments you would like to have. But I want to ask you the question: is it possible for us as a nation, as a state, as a Saginaw Bay, Michigan Bay region community, to really get across this political divide? We are so divided by things that we take so personal and to heart: abortion, vaccination, social justice reform, defund the police, and this new thing, diversity, equity, and inclusion, that causes so many people to fear. Are we able to bridge a gap and come together and really be one nation under God? So we're going to see if that's possible. I don't know what your thoughts are. John, you're looking over like a deer in headlights. What's going on?
No, I think it's certainly possible. I think that a lot of work needs to be done, and but I think it's possible. It's a long shot.
I think one of the main problems that we're seeing is that so many people, we're dealing with issues that are core values with people. And so when we look at what the Supreme Court just made with this new ruling, abortion, this is for many people, this is a religious stance. This is connected to my faith. I believe, that the Bible says. And when we start talking about those kinds of issues, they are really central core to people's belief and who they are as individuals. And then you look on the other side of that where people say, I believe that my body, I have a right. And I certainly understand when women say, hey, I have a right, this is my body. You wouldn't want as a man for someone to come in and just, take away a vasectomy or give you one, or, so I understand those issues. We're beginning, to talk about these really important issues. So that's vaccinations. And another one that is so important to have discussions. I grew up in a community where we were just good old clean, good folks. Are you signaling something to me, John?
We've got a caller.
Okay, we got a caller. We certainly want to hear what the caller has to say.
Yeah, let's see what Bill in Cass City has to say. Bill, good morning.
Good morning. This is a subject I was watching because these politicians, and not this lady, and in particular, just politicians in general, the only time they preach to the crowd and say, well, we want to work together and all this is about election time. Other than that, you don't see them. Now, that being a fact, I am a Vietnam vet. I came home in 1967, and I seen a different country than when I left. 1968, it got worse. And now we preach this divide. We can't figure out how we work together. When I was in Nam, it didn't matter if you were black, you were white, you were blue, you were green, you all bled red. And everybody protected the next man as he protected you. Now you learn how to hate the next guy because he's different than you. And they preach this crap. I mean, whether it's in the church or whatever, abortion. In this day and age, abortion drives me nuts. Okay, if you were raped, you had a problem, something happened, horrific happened. I have no problem with this. But in this day and age, you don't have to use this as a means of birth control because you don't have to get pregnant. I mean, we're talking today, you don't have to. And these people get out there and scream and yell like, really, just don't get yourself in this mess. And don't let people try to convince you one way or the other. It's nuts. We're all different, and yet they keep harping on this. And then we have folks, I just had two politicians call me last night. Oh, well, we're here for you. I said, that's funny because I've been trying to get a hold of you for another problem for 6 weeks.
I've been calling to get this light fixed outside my house, and you've not been here for me. We certainly thank you for your call. I think that you make a very appropriate acknowledgement. So, hey, there's a political season coming around. Your vote has power, so you can make your vote count. Thank you so very much for your comment.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
We're going to go into a commercial break right now, but first, let me tell you about the folks at Sanitary Mattress. Today's workers are asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed and spend 1/3 of your life there, you need quality sleep. Get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. You can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured that the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars stay right here in our local community. And they feature a 1-hour window of delivery of your mattress to your home. Visit Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935 at 5343 Janes Road, Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Or visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com, or you can call at 989-753-1757. We'll be right back. We've got the phones open at 989-752-6111. Back with more after this.
They had a look, an attitude, and a sound like no other. Sure, they were born in Jersey, but they were made in America.
Jersey Boys coming to the Dow Event Center Monday, July 25th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan Silver Dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan Silver Dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 1-800-222-3807 and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-222-3807. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-222-3807 now to secure your new Morgan Silver Dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-222-3807.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
It is the fundamental right of parents to direct the education of their children, unquote. That's the state law. And Representative Annette Glenn sponsored a bill to require posting that right in school offices and board meetings, fighting for parents. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Dirty exterior? Don't scrub it. Wet it and forget it. Wet and Forget, the easy outdoor cleaner. Wet and Forget works over time with Mother Nature to eliminate unsightly black and green stains on the exterior of your home with no scrubbing, power washing, or bleach. Use Wet and Forget on all your outdoor surfaces, including decks, siding, roofs, and patios. Wet and Forget's available in a concentrate or extreme reach hose-in. Purchase Wet and Forget in store or online at Lowe's, Menards, Ace, or Walmart.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
I don't use DoorDash, and there was a glitch that hit the app. It was a technical hiccup, it says, and users of DoorDash were allowed to place an order without entering payment information. They were getting orders for free. Okay, obviously
something was wrong.
Something was wrong.
Yeah.
News of the glitch spread on Twitter. Users shared a number of their free orders, including somebody who got over $1,900 worth of Don Julio tequila. That says DoorDash became aware and immediately canceled orders.
How did they think the DoorDash was not going to be able to correct the mistake?
The same reason people who think they can get away with things in the public eye because they don't think they're in the public eye. Have I ever done anything like that in my sordid past?
Did you feel bad if the vending machine gave you what you wanted, but then accidentally something else fell out?
I will admit to that. Yeah.
All right.
I will admit to
and
that.
you lived with yourself. You're ready.
Yes.
You can do it.
Very good. I have been outed. There was one candy bar. I didn't empty the whole vending machine.
The Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
This is Kareem with the Art Lewis Show, sitting in for Art Lewis. We want to thank you guys for having tuned in today for all of the great conversation that is going on. And I'm excited still to be here with you guys. And it is always a privilege. Art is what I would consider an icon in our area, and especially in broadcasting. If you don't believe so, you just need to come and walk the halls of the studio and see all the awards that he's gotten. So to be able to sit in and share some of his airtime and to fill in for him is actually great, a great privilege. But I wanted to talk. I've been watching a number of things that are going on, and I'm looking at what is happening with this January 6th commission. And have you watched? Do you watch any of this stuff at all, John?
I get little pieces of it here and there. Working in a news radio station,
you get a little bit.
You get a little, but I don't seek it out. Partially because I think it's a show.
It is. No, this is definitely, I think, what I would consider political theater to a great degree at this point. And so we're putting on a show. But I am a person who seeks out news and information. I'm watching CNBC, Fox News, ABC, Global's, UK news. I'm watching everyone's news just because I'm always interested in how differently we see things. And I think oftentimes when we look at what we're dealing with, it's often a matter of perspective and really how what your perspective is in many cases will paint your determining factor of what really took place and what happened. However, I do see, what's happening with this thing, and I'm just kind of, I wish we could just get to the findings and not put on a show. That's what I wish we could do. But this is politics. It's a political season. And just as the caller said a little while ago, hey, we're here for you. But yeah, I've been trying to call you for 9 weeks and nobody's been here for me. Things always change in a political season. Once again, our phone lines are open if you're interested in calling in, 989-752-6111. And the thing that I would really love for you all to really share your opinion on is, do you think that we can really, we're going into a political season. This is probably the most divisive political season that we're probably going to see, I think, in recent years. And so many people are isolated. We're polarized. We're in our feels about everything. And are we able to really get over those things, to really be, as we say in our founding documents, to be one nation under God, indivisible, with liberties and justice for all? Has that portion of the American dream set sail, never to return again, becomes an important thing? Yes, John.
It's a little bit of a tangent, sidetrack from that discussion, but I do want to touch on it because I think that you asked a very interesting question.
Okay.
Earlier when we had Kristen McDonald Rivet on, you said, I'm paraphrasing, how do you reconcile when you have a certain belief and when the people that you represent don't necessarily hold that belief? And
don't you think that's interesting?
I think it's very interesting. And I think that there are two extremes. One, you can have politicians that don't carry their personal beliefs at all in with them, and only they are empty shells only voices for the people. That's the one kind. The other kind is people who are voted in because of their personal beliefs, and they're going to fight even harder for those personal beliefs. I think if you have all of one or all of the other, you have an effective government. I think if you have some of one and some of the other, problems come up.
So I want you to clarify what you're saying. So you're saying your thoughts are that if you have, and I believe that if you are a politician, you should do what your constituents are asking for.
I agree.
And I think that's what you're saying, right?
I think that either constituents should vote in people who have those strong beliefs that align with their own. Okay. Yep. That I can reconcile myself with that. But at the same time, I think that more likely you're going to want someone who doesn't bring their own bag, doesn't bring their own prejudices in, and just says, nope, this is what the people that I represent want. Now, you've got so many people with so many different opinions that it's going to be very difficult to make that work. But I think that you kind of got to choose one, and if it's something in between that, there's going to be some problems.
And I think that you're correct. One of, I think the most important things that I think that is happening now is that we have people, because this is what I think about America. First of all, I think that we as Americans, I think the average American citizen is a law-abiding individual. It is someone who is sensible. It's an individual who wants the best for our nation. And for the most part, I think the average citizen has a desire to see everything play out fairly. We have a desire to see things happen in a very fair manner. However, we do have large swaths of individuals that don't really agree with those things. And what happens is, depending on, I think, a district or a region that an individual is running for in a political season, if they, depending on who's the incumbent, say this new seat opens up, there is a space here for someone to create or to listen to a dynamic. Look at the borders of this 35th Senate seat. We got all of these different places that are going on. But so we've got to make some decisions in terms of who we're going to believe and what we're going to trust. We're going to take a break here, and we'll be right back really quickly.
The Tribute to Summer concert series takes center stage at Saguenay Eagles Landing. The Purple Experience recreates the music of Prince on Thursday, July 14th. And Led Zeppelica rocks a tribute to Led Zeppelin on Thursday, July 28th. All shows are outside in the parking lot on the south side of Worth Road and include $10 free play for adults. Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit Saguenay-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
Hold on. So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, start putting money back into your wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. To cash out of your Upside cash, just transfer it to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. Upside users have already earned over $200 million. Now it's your turn. Download the free Upside app and get cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code TALK100 for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. That's code TALK100. Use code TALK100 for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
WSGW is your station for the Tigers. Baez.
Swinging a shot. Fair down the third baseline. Candelario is in. Castro's right behind him. Javi Baez, 2-run double. Fly ball left field off the bat of Javi Baez. Looking up, and it's gone, a home run. Javi Baez launches.
Tigers baseball brought to you in part by Woolfiles Ace Hardware in Saginaw. Stan's Gold Mine. Your home for the Tigers is WSGW.
This is Kareem Bowen on the Art Lewis Show, filling in for Art Lewis, who I hope is having an amazing day off. We have had a great time together. It's always good to be with you, John, and spending this time with you. And I hope you enjoyed spending this time with me in this new space.
Oh, yeah. It's always a great conversation.
All right. So we've had an opportunity to speak with Miss Rivet, who is running Rivet. I got it right. Pivot Rivet, who is running for the 35th. But we just want to make sure that you guys have had a great day today. I have had an enjoyable time. So we're going to continue with our programming here. And so coming up next, we are going to have Pat Johnson filling in for the Focus program. Stick and stay. Don't go away. We thank you for tuning in today. And as always, grace and peace.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.